Hello and welcome to Bloom and Beyond. This podcast episode is titled, Self-Care is a Lie. It's Time to Reclaim Your Life. I want to talk about a term that's actually been irritating to me lately, and I think you might be feeling it too. Self-care. I don't even know what self-care means anymore. I say that not to be dramatic, but because it's true. You probably heard that phrase so many times. Make time for self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. And yes, it's true. We do need care. We do need rest. We do need time to breathe. But what happens when the world's definition of self-care doesn't actually match your reality? What happens when your life feels like it's on fire and someone hands you a lavender candle and says, "Here, light this. That should help." Because for me, and maybe for you, self-care stopped making sense a long time ago. Let's think about what self-care has become. It's a hashtag, an industry. It's something marketed to us in pretty packaging, bubble baths, essential oils, skincare routines, yoga classes, and things that promise total transformation. And I'm not knocking those things. I like a good bubble bath. I love a good walk outside, and I even own a journal that says breathe on the cover. And I promote and teach yoga and meditation. But in reality, those things are surface level when your soul is exhausted. They are moments, not solutions. They are pauses and not healing. That type of surface self-care just isn't enough. So many of us are walking around burned out, overwhelmed, overfunctioning, and under-supported. And then when someone tells us to take better care of ourselves, that's a trigger for me. I'm trying to do that. You can't meditate your way out of a toxic relationship. You can't journal your way out of a job that is crushing your spirit. You can't bath bomb your way out of emotional neglect. And you can't journal yourself out of complete exhaustion. That's what I mean when I say self-care, as we've been taught, is a lie, because it places the burden back on us. Well, if you're not okay, you must not be taking care of yourself well enough. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the pressure, the pace, the expectations you've been carrying for years? Personally, I've experienced times where I was so exhausted, so emotionally drained, that the idea of self-care felt laughable. I wasn't neglecting myself on purpose. I just didn't have anything left. And in those moments, a face mask or a long bath or a candle, they all felt like a joke. A Band-Aid on something much deeper. What I needed wasn't a beauty routine. What I needed was to reclaim my life, reclaim my time, my voice, reclaim my sense of being a full human and not just someone keeping everybody else afloat. What does reclaiming your life actually look like? It looks like saying no when you've always said yes. It's time to stop the people-pleasing. It looks like unfollowing the people who make you feel like you're never enough. It looks like canceling plans when your body is begging for rest and doing so without an apology. It looks like admitting, I'm not okay and I need help. It looks like dropping the idea that you have to earn rest or prove your worth or carry everyone else's needs before your own. It's about reclaiming your humanity. These are some questions I want you to sit with. Are you actually caring for yourself, or are you just managing your own burnout? And I'd guess that you're just managing your burnout, because sometimes the things we call self-care are really just survival. Sometimes self-care becomes another mask we wear, another thing we perform instead of something that heals. Real self-care is messy. It's not always pretty. It's not always something we put on Instagram. Sometimes it looks like crying. Sometimes it looks like saying goodbye to relationships that no longer align. Sometimes it looks like doing less, being less available, and letting people down, even when it's uncomfortable. If you're feeling this, know that you're not failing at self-care. You've just been carrying too much for too long. And you don't need more pressure to fix yourself. You need permission to let go. You deserve a life that doesn't require constant recovery. You deserve a version of self-care that actually includes caring for your soul and not just your schedule. I'm not going to offer you a list of 10 things to do to feel better. I'm offering you a pause, a moment to ask yourself honestly, where am I feeling exhausted? And how are you feeling this exhaustion? And where am I saying yes when I really mean no? If you don't feel up to doing something or you just don't want to, say no without guilt and without an explanation. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. A polite no is just fine. And what do I need to do to reclaim myself now? What do you feel is missing, or what have you neglected that you want back in your life? What do you need to feel better? Start there. Your healing doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Your wants and needs are yours, and if others don't understand, that's okay. Your self-care doesn't have to be beautiful or tidy. It just has to be yours. It's okay to let go. It's okay to rest, and it's more than okay to reclaim your life, one breath at a time. So thanks for being here. I am so grateful that you are. Until next time, take care of yourself for real.